As I'm hitting record on this video, the price of XRP is sitting at $3.13. Not long ago, literally just a few days, we reached a fresh all-time high of $3.65. So what's going on? Is the rally already behind us? Was that the peak of the cycle? Let me give you a bit of a spoiler up front. Absolutely not. In fact, I firmly believe the biggest moves are still ahead of us. That said, there's been chatter from a well-known chart analyst who's laid out reasons why he thinks XRP is losing momentum right now. But let me reassure you, this dip won't last. What we're seeing is a totally normal pattern, historically speaking. After a big breakout like the one we just witnessed, it's actually quite typical to see a retrace to test previous support levels. In short, that's what I believe is unfolding here. This isn't just my opinion. I've looked at insights from multiple chart analysts. Let me tell you, things are still looking fantastic. I'll continue to share various expert perspectives, breaking down the logic and data behind their optimism. From where I'm standing, XRP's current position is incredibly strong. So if you're feeling concerned, like XRP might be losing steam, trust me, I get it. I understand why some might be nervous. But if you're interpreting this as a sign of something negative or alarming, that's just not the case. Just to be clear before I go any further, I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't have any professional background in finance. Nothing I say should be taken as investment advice. I'm just a crypto enthusiast who loves sharing thoughts and opinions about this space. This is all just for entertainment and discussion. Asterisk. So here's something shared by chart analyst Crypto Insight UK. He posted that people are bickering in his comments and across his feed. And he actually sees that as a positive sign. One named Mike jumped in and asked, why would that be? A good thing? What are they even arguing about? Crypto Insight UK replied, they're arguing about whether we've hit the bottom. It's all about sentiment. Now, I just wanted to highlight this because this kind of back and forth, these heated debates, I'm seeing it all over social media too. And honestly, it's expected. The internet's basically become a giant complaint box, so hey, I'm here for it. But let me say this, when markets are topping out, when everything's peaking, you don't see this kind of chaos. What you get instead is euphoria, everyone's in sync, singing Kumbaya, convinced nothing can ever go wrong. That's when it's actually dangerous. But we're not there yet. The mood right now, it's still rough. That's a good thing. It means the real upside could still be ahead. This kind of negative sentiment hits actually a signal, like one that rarely fails. Chart analyst Galaxy recently posted that Bitcoin is now sitting above a key diagonal resistance level. In his view, it looks like we're setting up for the next phase of major price discovery. On the chart he shared, you can actually see he's eyeing a potential move up to around $200,000. Now, whether he's spot on or not, I don't know. But if he is, wow, that could be absolutely massive for XRP holders. I mean, think about it. If Bitcoin really does make a move like that, it's pretty hard to imagine XRP not tagging, say, $20 or at least getting close. The kind of capital, influx, and FOMO that would bring into the entire crypto space, that's the kind of stuff that launches altcoins into orbit. Now, for the record, I'm not totally sold that Bitcoin's going to hit those numbers. I'm open to the idea, though. It's not my base case, but I'm not dismissing it either. It could happen. It's not outlandish. If it does, XRP holders, brace yourselves. That kind of move could trigger what I like to call face melt, season across altcoins. Chart analyst Crypto's also chimed in with a note on Bitcoin dominance. He's watching to make sure it stays below that red 62% zone, and so far, it's holding. That means alt season is still alive and well. Now, yeah, Bitcoin dominance ticked up a bit recently. Totally normal. It doesn't mean alt season is over. In fact, if you check out this chart, the blue line shows Bitcoin's dominance in market cap. Right now, it's hovering just over 61%. The bottom part of the chart, that's the ETH-BTC pair. And here's the fascinating part. They're almost perfectly inversely correlated. When one rises, the other falls. No surprise, but it's wild to actually see it play out so clearly. So where do things go from here? Some people are wondering. If ETH-BTC has run out of gas, personally, I don't think so. Rhetorically, there's no reason to think the run is over. In fact, there's plenty of evidence showing ETH has outperformed Bitcoin during these types of cycles, and I expect that to continue. And when that happens, when Bitcoin is rising, but its dominance is dropping, that's usually when the real altcoin rally kicks off. And if that's the case, XRP is going to absolutely crush both Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of percentage gains. As Crypto Wizard said, and so it begins, he called it, Bitcoin dominance has likely peaked. ETH-BTC has found a bottom, and the alt rally is just getting started. Based on what we've seen in previous cycles, everything is lining up just the way he said it would. The best may truly be yet to come. Chart analyst Bobby recently shared a post, not going to read the whole thing word for word, but here's the gist of it. He mentioned that for years, he's been calling for a $5 trillion market cap as the first major target for the entire crypto space. He says he was saying this long before Brad Garlinghouse ever brought it up publicly. And just to put that into perspective, yeah, $5 trillion is a huge number. It's a major jump from where we are now. But in this space, not as far-fetched as some might think. Right now, as I'm recording this, the total crypto market cap is sitting just above $3.8 trillion. That's already a massive jump from where we were just before the election back then. It was hovering around $2.2 trillion, give or take. So yeah, moving from $2.2 trillion to $3.8 trillion in such a short time. It's no small feat. It shows just how fast momentum can build in this space when conditions line up. Now, let's say the total crypto market climbs just a bit more up to $5 trillion. And imagine XRP reclaims a 15% market dominance. Right now, I think it's sitting somewhere near 5%, give or take. I didn't check right before recording. But that's a decent ballpark. If XRP hits that 15% share, that would translate to a market cap of roughly $750 billion. And with the current supply, that puts each XRP at around $13.50. And honestly, that's not some wild, unrealistic projection. It's really not a stretch. A lot of analysts believe XRP could hit that level or even go higher. Some are talking 20% dominance or more, but here's where it gets really interesting. What if $5 trillion isn't even the top? Some analysts are now eyeing $7 trillion, $8 trillion, even $10 trillion as the potential peak of this cycle before we see another correction. If we do hit $10 trillion and XRP takes that same 15% slice, that would put the price of XRP at $27 per coin. That's why I keep saying once the capital really starts flooding in, things can escalate fast. So yeah, buckle up. It could get crazy. Chart analyst XFORCE Global recently made an interesting point. He believes Ethereum holders still have some serious upside left in this cycle. He's talking about a possible retest of ETH's all-time high and maybe even hitting the 5-digit mark. Now let me say this. I think it's entirely possible that XRP overtakes Ethereum, at least temporarily, to claim that number 2 market cap spot. And even if it doesn't, I wouldn't be shocked at all to see it come extremely close. There's historical precedent for it, and it's definitely within reach. Also, it's not at all controversial for analysts to forecast $10,000 each this cycle. That's just a 2x from last cycle's peak. Some folks actually think that's conservative. See how that plays out. But here's where it gets spicy. If XRP is going head-to-head with Ethereum for that second place slot and ETH really does touch $10,000, then a $20 XRP would be the logical equivalent in terms of market cap. That's why I keep stressing it's not about wild guessing. I don't do price predictions. But scenarios like this, totally plausible under the right conditions. It's not crazy. It's not even close. Now, switching gears, chart analyst CW mentioned that XRP has liquidated most of its long positions. That might help explain some of the current slowdown we're seeing. He pointed to something he's calling the Bifrost Bridge, a level of technical resistance that's held strong for over 242 days. He says if XRP can finally close above that line, it could trigger a 600% move. 600%. That's the kind of stuff we're all waiting for. And yes, I'm absolutely ready for that. Let's get this party started already. Personally, I've been holding XRP since 2017. That's almost 8 years at this point. And I haven't sold. I just sit tight, that's it. I don't trade, I don't panic, I just hold. And let me tell you, it works. You don't need to be a market genius. The reality is that most traders actually lose money like 90 to 95%. Of them, meanwhile, I'm outperforming almost all of them by simply doing nothing. I buy, I hold, and I wait. And when the price becomes too big a chunk of my net worth, then maybe I'll consider selling. We're getting close, folks. Here's something fun. Chart analyst Javon Marks posted what now feels like a little time capsule. On July 9th, 2024, he shared an XRP BTC chart saying a bullish divergence was forming that could mark a trend reversal. At that time, XRP was stuck in the 40 to 50 cent range. The haters were louder than ever. They were calling XRP dead, said it would never rise again, especially not against Bitcoin. But as I kept saying back then, markets bottom out. Assets with real utility don't go to zero. It's not how it works. And what happened? Just as predicted. XRP exploded from about 49 cents to a recent high of $3.65. Boom! And we're not done yet. Javon was looking at potential moves that could take XRP to $1.50, then $4, and even $10 or higher. And people laughed at him a year ago. They're not laughing now, are they? It's the same critics, the loudmouth Bitcoin maximalist, suddenly quiet. Funny how that works. You don't see them typing with their stubby little troll fingers anymore. They've gone silent because they were wrong. Some are out here deleting their old posts embarrassed as they should be. Javon recently updated that XRP didn't just outperform Bitcoin by 255%. TIT surged 354%. And he's still looking at targets beyond $4. Maybe $10 is next. And now, Rakesh Upadhyay from Cointelegraph chimed in too. He says a confirmed breakout above $3.66 could launch XRP straight to $4, and then $4.86. That's just the warm-up. Once you hit those levels, the face-melting phase begins. That's when things really take off. So if you're wondering why is XRP stalling right now, the answer is this is normal. Historically, this is just how it behaves before the big push. 1 minute it's flat, the next it's vertical. It's crypto. And remember, none of this is financial advice. Don't buy or sell anything just because I said something. That would be a terrible idea. Do your own research, always. But if you're holding strong, just know, we're getting close.